Good morning. It's noon on the dot Eastern time. It is noon. And that, of course, means it's time for the TNAM Daily Show here on the new American media. Thank you all so much for being here. We decided to go live early just so we could have it up, just so we could get the feed where we needed it to be. Get the show squared away, kablamo. Nice and early, which means on time. Have you ever had personal struggles with time? I grew up in a household that struggled with time and with the snooze button. Lots of practices, early mornings, showing up right when it's time to work. Not when it's, get there 15 minutes early so that if there's a slight delay, oh, I forgot my something, I got to run back and grab it. That sets you back 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, what's going on? Oh, there's a big truck backing up and they're stopping traffic in both directions. It's going to be like 5 minutes. Have you had troubles with time? How did you learn to deal with time? I don't want to say constraints, but with deadlines, with responsibilities, things you had to do, places you had to be at a specific time. But yeah, today I just tried something different. Get the show set up early, launch it early, have music, let the whole chat room populate, everybody get in, come on in. It's like we're not opening the kitchen at this bar. We're not getting started until noon. We'll open the doors at 11. Come on in. Get a seat, settle in. Maybe we can do a round of drinks, but everything starts at noon. So I tried it today. What was David, John, Marion, etc.? What was it like having the show live for an hour today with music, with the note saying we'll be live at noon? What was that like? Was it dumb? Was it unnecessary? Was it a good way to get things started so it's not so rushed? Just checking out your feedback. Thank you for being here. The NBA, Pride Night, prayer cut. I think his name is Ivy on the Chicago Bulls. We're going to tell you about that story. The Supreme Court heard a case about what you can and can't tell a confused child who may think he's something that he's not. What are you allowed to say to that child? There was a case in Colorado, and there's a ruling. And it looks like everybody was on the same page, except for one judge, without even looking. Which one judge would you guess would be on the outside of a unanimous ruling? Either the only smart one or the only dumb one. If you had to guess, who would that be? We'll tell you about it. And also, we're going to look through the news because there's a million stories right now. I got 3 playback monitors going, trying to figure out which one is making the noise. Marion says, I enjoyed the music as I got to go through the ads without seeing your first couple minutes. Yeah. So maybe at least a 5-minute intro would be helpful if I launch with music 5 minutes in. If we go live at noon, that'll be 11:55. Cue the launch, cue the music. And then 5 minutes later, once the advertisements have gone through, we wouldn't miss the show intro. That's one of the things that I was considering. Exactly, Marion. Thank you for that. That was exactly something we were discussing. But we're going to discuss all the things. So buckle up. TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
Thank you all so much for being here. Bar is open. I am your bartender. My name is Brian. I didn't do the official intro to the show, or I did, but I didn't show it on the screen. I like to do the snap. What do I say? Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of California to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, and this right here, the thing that you're watching, is called TNAM Daily Show. TNAM stands for the New American Media. Thanks for being here. Let's put your chats up on the screen and say hello to everybody. Thank you all for being here. Let's go to the stories. What is happening in the universe? Oh, before we get to the stories, let me put this up. It is the last day of the month. We do not want March to be the lowest number of super chats in the YouTube relaunch era window. That would be the last 7 months since we've been remonetized. Yes, YouTube stole our ability to earn an income for half a decade. That was Joe Biden, everybody. So for all the people, I'm out on Trump. I think his foreign policy, he's controlled by Israel. He's a globalist. He's taking us into. Okay. Oh, hold on. Narco terrorists taken out in Mexico. That sort of calmed down once that resolved, did it not? Venezuela. Okay, they're gone, and now there's under new management. Venezuela sort of settling down, and people are very happy that narco terrorist Nicolas Maduro is gone. Okay, there was a lot of hand wringing and freaking out. Was some of that unnecessary? Maybe so, maybe not. It might still be too early to tell, and that's fair. But this moment is the world on fire because of Venezuela? It doesn't appear to be so. It seems like the product that's been moving into the United States to turn our people into junkies and zombies, some of that's gone. Here, let me turn up. I still have the music. Is it distracting, or could I keep the music in? Well, I guess if I start playing videos, I'll need to turn the music off. So let me phase the music off. Yeah, we'll take it off completely. Okay. Kind of experimenting with the music there. So the concern over Iran is understandable. Also, let's wait and see. The 5 years under Biden and Obama's handlers, third term, however you want to call whatever that 5 years was, with Joe Biden, the year before, the year after, like just sort of, it's all just a blob of 5-6 years of mainly COVID. That's a world I don't ever want to go back to. And yeah, you can definitely look at some of the things that the Trump administration has done over the past couple of years, past year and a half specifically. 15 months, maybe specifically. But what other option is there? Like, show me a viable option. I'm not putting Democrats in charge, and I'm not sitting home. I'm not turning my back on Trump. I can criticize and critique the things that I don't like, and I will do that every single time I get a chance to. But every single time I get a chance to is different than every single time that I can. When I get a chance to, it's because I've decided that it meets the worthy outrage level. Not every issue meets the necessary minimum for outrage. And that's part of what we're figuring out here. There are two Americas. That's the title of today's show. There's two Americas. Two wolves inside of America. Which one wins? The one that we feed. So I'm not going to feed constant negativity over things that may or may not be negative, over things that may or may not be necessary, that we head for the hills. I'm not doing it. I think we need to be feeding some positivity, and we need to be pushing for answers in places that we're disappointed. But, you know, I watched this No Kings rally, and this was over the same weekend that CPAC happened. CPAC didn't make headlines. No Kings made headlines. All right, so why isn't CPAC going and doing a nationwide blitz? And having local speakers and getting people fired up in American flags. Where's that effort? Who's putting that together? If the left can do it, the right can do it. And why not? Why not find a way to pay some patriots $200 a day? It's like, hey, come on out. Are you down with some of this stuff? Help us organize this. We'll put this thing on. That's what's happening on the left. Where is the counterbalance? Where is this happening? Where's this coming from on the right? We need to feed that wolf, or else the derpy No Kings thing is going to win. And I don't really think it's going to win. By the way, birthright citizenship being debated heavily right now. We've talked about that issue and how bad it is for America that two foreigners could fly in on vacation, pop out a kid, take them back to anywhere. That could be Israel, that could be Palestine, that could be Uganda, that could be England, that could be Russia, that could be Ukraine, that could be China, Venezuela, Canada. Oh yeah, but that person, because they were born here, they're totally an American and they should be able to serve as president. I firmly believe you shouldn't be able to serve in Congress or as a governor, probably as a mayor, unless you were born in this country. If the president has that birthright requirement, it should be the same across the other major areas. Look at the foreign infiltration that we've had in Minneapolis, for example. A conquered nation literally changed your flag once you were conquered and started funneling billions of dollars out to Somalia. That is a conquered nation. That is cultural suicide. And that money could be flowing to Ukraine. That money could be flowing to Russia. That money could be flowing to China. That money could be flowing to Iran. I don't care where. I don't want it flowing out of this country. I want Americans to be taken care of. I want a good system here where it's not so difficult to live a pretty good life. The inflation, since the Federal Reserve came in and started messing with our currency and allowing politicians to spend limitlessly to devalue our dollar, has been dereliction of duty. It's been borderline treasonous. David, yes, in the comments we were talking. I think I briefly mentioned Canada as one of the potential places. Canada trying to go door to door to confiscate guns. Yes, I played a clip, I believe, on yesterday's show. Canada, we need you strong. I don't know how you've been overthrown, but you've been overthrown. These are not civil liberties that are being protected. This is something disastrous for your nation. Your national sovereignty has been defeated with unbridled migration, intentional population replacement. It's been happening all across this planet. Maybe not in China, maybe not in Japan, maybe not in Russia, maybe not in Poland, maybe not in, there's places where this hasn't been, but this has been the 20-year Obama doctrine plan. Not that he's the mastermind genius of it, but I think in a way he has been. He's been a key contributor to it. You blend all cultures, you tear down historical statues, you just rename things. Everybody's the same. There's no difference. You're damn right there's a difference. Actually, you're damn wrong. There is a big difference. Cultural practices matter. You want to be barbaric and do some awful shit, you do it over there. And you're lucky if we don't go over there and stop you from doing it. But don't you bring your weird shit over here. We have a right to have a normal nation with normal people, cool people, good neighbors, expectations. How about a purchasing power of our currency? So you don't need two people to work full time where you never see each other. Try to have some kids you can't afford. You put them in daycare so they can be smacked around by some, what pejorative could I use? Minimum wage employee that doesn't like children. And you send them off to get 8-hour-a-day indoctrination. Constant course correction, smacking on your fingers with a ruler by the tattooed, purple-haired activists on the fringes of society, pushing all sorts of weird shit on your kids. We should be raising our kids to be normal, awesome, productive, helpful people in our society. And we've been stripped of culture and society, and it's been intentional. But we got to feed the wolf that we want to win. So I'm gonna stay as positive as I can despite all these negative stories. You show up here every day. Oh, speaking of showing up here every day, I forgot to put that at the bottom of the screen. This is the TNAM Daily Show. As your friendly bartender, I do put out our tip jar. I'll pass the collection plate at my church service. Maybe, that would be weird if I turn it into a church, but maybe I will. You can go on Patreon at the New American Media, or YouTube and Rumble, and you can do a monthly subscription. Thank you to everybody who has. And if you haven't yet, please consider doing so. Today could be the day, and it'll pop up in my email. I'll be like, oh, so-and-so just signed up to be a monthly member. I'll be like, yes. Like $5 a month to do that is like $60 a year. That's, when I go into a bar, I tip $5 very quickly. That's like in one night. And it's very easy if you go out to dinner and you hang out for a couple of hours, you're enjoying the ambiance and the whole experience, run up a tab, $100, $20 on 100. That's very easy to do. So the minimum ask on some of those monthly contributions is very low, is what I'm saying. $5 a month, $10 a month on Patreon, I believe. Please consider that if you enjoy your time here. Also, Rumble rant tips and super chat tips. We are still on our last day. Today's the last day, everybody. $15 short of our lowest month since our relaunch of YouTube. So if anyone wants to toss a super chat in, I think $15 once they take the fees out should make the difference. 20 would definitely do it. But please consider dropping something there. And if you prefer Venmo or Cash App, that's just my name, Brian Engelman, spelled out right there on the screen. BrianEngelman. And on PayPal, it's fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. Going back to the comments here, world's tallest midget in Rumble. Thanks for chatting on Rumble. Talking about having time issues and just, trying to be exactly on time. And if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. No time problems. Drove over the road for years, making all my appointments on time or early. Never late, so I'm always on time and early. Yeah, I have done really well. See, that's the thing, though. When you do well with timeliness, it doesn't matter because that's the minimum expectation. I have failed at being prompt and timely on multiple occasions. But it's something I do work on. But yeah, like I did say this many months ago. The TNAM Daily Show aims to be on at noon, and there are occasionally times where maybe its nimbus is not feeling well, and it requires a little bit of time, or something in the neighborhood has occurred, or something it needs to be tended to. I'll keep it as close to noon as I possibly can. I decided early I wasn't going to beat myself up over it. But it's okay. We're having fun. But yeah, I'm learning to be on time. So I'm thinking maybe at least go 5 minutes early so that we can buzz through the ads and not miss the intro. Drove New York to Texas overnight. Nice. Yeah, I was in Ohio, and then I went to the East Coast. Then from the East Coast, I went back to Ohio, picked up my stuff, then went out to Los Angeles, all within a week. So it was Ohio to the Atlantic Ocean, back to Ohio, back to the Pacific Ocean in the week. That was a lot of driving. That was when we moved out to Los Angeles. Lake Leon says people buying into fake news overtook Canada. Yeah, poor Canada. Things are out of control in Canada. But even that won't wake up the mentally ill there. The TNAM Church of Truth. Oh boy. All right, put that on the list, Jamie. Consider doing that. Yeah, I know. That's true. The right, who are the normal people, they have to work for a living. That would make it tough for people to just show up at these rallies. But you're telling me there aren't motivated activists on the right that, especially if you made $100, you made $150, $200. Yeah, I mean, it's like minimum you need $300 a day when it's all said and done and spliced and diced to survive on this planet. According to my math, $200 a day if you work 7 days, $300 a day if you work 5 days a week. There's got to be funding mechanisms that could get people motivated and out on the streets and go, yeah, I'm paid. I work with this organization that puts this message of success and accomplishment and building a better future. I like the vision that we're putting together. And I'm part of an organization that compensates me to come on out here as an evangelist for truth. There you go. An evangelist for truth. The world is my church. And because I watched Charlie Kirk get snuffed out for speaking, we all have to speak much more, much louder, much more often, or they win. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm proud to get paid $200 today. Here's mine. If you'd like to join, here's how you join. Don't run away from it. Embrace it. Maybe that's what I should do this summer. The No Kings Rally. Elon has, he created a company called Macro Hard, like the opposite of Microsoft. Is there like an opposite of No Kings? I don't know. All right, let's pull up our X feed and buzz through the news here. Hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend, please. This is our X account at American_media_. Please make sure you're all following. And this is our Patreon link pinned at the top of our page. All right, what is this? Miles Bridges on the left, arrested and criminally charged with multiple felony counts. These are NBA players of domestic violence and child abuse after an alleged assault on the mother of his children. He received a 30-game suspension and remained with the team. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Jaden Ivey on the right with the Bulls, a Christian who spoke out against Pride Month, immediately cut from the team. The NBA has a massive problem, and it's not Jaden Ivey. Let's see what this story's about. Colin Rugg. Okay, what is this post? Colin Rugg says the Chicago Bulls are waiving Jaden Ivey after he spoke out against the NBA for promoting Pride Month and unrighteousness, according to ESPN. All right, here's his clip. Here we go. You know what? You're going to try to... Here's the deal. Here's the deal, world. You try to silence people, we're going to talk about them tenfold. Make it 100-fold. You silence Charlie Kirk, I'm going to play every fucking Charlie Kirk clip that I ever see, and I'm going to share it. You don't get to silence somebody like that. Fuck you. You try to assassinate President Trump. You drum up 3 bullshit charges on him to throw him in jail so you can Epstein him, silence him because he was a wrench in the gears of your garbage machine. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm going to multiply that message. You silenced me for half a fucking decade as I spoke out about COVID, the thing that killed my mother and my brother, calling out Fauci, the bioweapons labs in Ukraine and Wuhan, China, going to January 6th to figure out why so many people were upset with what they deemed was a clearly untrustworthy election, a selection of Joe Biden. You silenced me. You took my voice away. You took my ability to earn a fucking income away. I admit I'm not a Jaden Ivey super fan. I don't know everything about him. I know in this case, he had thoughts, and it seems like he was immediately cut from the team. You silence us, we're all going to speak out. You silence John McAfee, we're going to speak out. You silence Edward Snowden, we're going to speak out. You silence, geez, I can see him. Julian Assange, we're going to speak out. Khashoggi, we're going to speak out. JFK, we're going to speak out. RFK, we're going to speak out. You fucking tried to explode Trump twice, once on a golf course, once at Butler. Secret Service allowed it. You assholes. You blow Charlie Kirk up right in fucking front of us? Yeah, getting cut from the Bulls is not being exploded in Butler. But it might as well be the same fucking thing. You tyrants want your way and demand your way and your way only, or else. So we're going to elevate the stories of people that are silenced. So let's listen to this guy together. What did he have to say? Jaden Ivey from his post on the left.
The world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that man, this man is crazy?
I'm not the Jay I used to be, but the old Jay is dead. I'm alive in Christ. No matter what the basketball setting is, I'm born again. The Holy Spirit. I've been saved by Jesus Christ. No matter what, how many DMPs I don't get to play, or no matter how many points I score, those things are a temporary thing.
So he says that, and he's removed. NBA saying that biblical principles are disallowed in their league. He's speaking out here after being waived by the Bulls, setting the record straight.
The Bible is true. They said the Bible is true. They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't?
By the way, tell me in the comments. I agree that this guy should have been fired for what he said. In the comments, do you agree or disagree? I agree that this guy should have been fired for what he said. Hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit the share button, share this out on X and on Facebook and other places. Subscribe and tell me, do you agree that this guy should have been removed from his team, from the NBA? And will he be blackballed from the league forever? That's another part of the question.
Right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his stance on LGBTQ? Why didn't they say that? Well, how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. Said good job, good shot. I said good job, good pass, way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. It was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth. Because I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. How? How is my conduct detrimental to the team? Because of what I believe. Because of what the truth is. This is not about me. This is about the kingdom of God. This is about the truth of the Bible. The word of God is true. All I said was truth. If you repent of your sins and put your faith in Jesus Christ, you will be saved. And you unless you become born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. But you see, before I came to the Lord Jesus Christ, the NBA was everything to me. I didn't know God. I didn't know Jesus when I came to the NBA. I was a fornicator. I was a pornography addict. And I used to get drunk. That's all I knew. And after a win, I felt good. After all those points, I felt good. I felt good. I felt like I had everything set out for me. Right? But as soon as that shut down for me, as soon as I didn't start, that's when God was humbling me. And he said he sat me down for a reason. He sat me down for a reason. Because our vessels are not meant to have anything else but Jesus Christ on it. Many of y'all have idols. Y'all have idols that y'all need to put down so that Jesus can free you and heal you. That's what he comes to do. He's the bread of life, the Prince of Peace. That's his job. That's who he is, the King of Kings. He comes to give peace. He comes to give life and life more abundantly. But the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The devil comes to steal your peace. The devil comes to steal and people to commit suicide. That's what the devil comes to do. But Jesus destroyed the works of the devil. Jesus destroyed the works of the devil.
So let's see. The Chicago Bulls announced today the team has waived guard Jaden Ivey due to conduct detrimental to the team. Let's check the comments. What do the comments say? Hold on. How do I get to the comments? Where is the Bible? There we go. Your anti-Christian bigotry is noted, says Molly Hemingway. What? And I can't stress this enough. The fuck? John says if you had a secret vote of your own players, now that's an interesting one. Would you agree with that? If you had a secret vote of your own players, they probably wouldn't support Pride Month either. He just said publicly what a majority of the country thinks. I mean, why are we celebrating who people are fornicating with? Why is that something that needs to be held up and promoted? I don't really understand this. And in the comments, you seem to agree as well that this person should not have been taken off the team. Conduct detrimental to the team. So not agreeing with Pride Month gets you fired from the Bulls. Let's see. Garbage decision. Whole NBA is unwatchable trash. I've never seen a professional sports team commit S in such a public and unashamed manner. What did he do? Start winning? Jaden Ivey expressed his opposition to LG ideology being forced upon people. He stood behind his beliefs. The Bulls declared that was conduct detrimental to the team. What a disgrace. Rename the team to the Chicago Bullshit. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I stand with this guy. The Chicago Bulls announced today that the team has waived guard Jaden Ivey due to being Christian. Sunshine says, shameful. I hope he sues you into oblivion. In the meantime, boycott the Bulls and their merchandise. It's interesting, this part. Liberal virtue signaling. Hate has no home here. Yeah. Unless it's hate for Trump, because we support that, and his supporters, because we hate his supporters, and we hate white men, and we hate Christians, and we hate conservatives. But hate has no home here. Have you noticed that? Some of the angriest people are waving these tolerance flags. I'm personally fairly libertarian, and I absolutely do not want our society indoctrinated with nonstop this. Fairly libertarian. Do your thing. But trying to groom kids and confuse kids and messing with, I'm a boy. You don't have to be a boy. There's like a million things you could be. You're a boy. Stop it. The line in the sand has been drawn a long time ago. That's so interesting. Hate has no home unless it's hate for Trump, his supporters, white men and Christians and conservatives. It's like the same groups that the globalists are trying to replace in Canada, in Europe, in America. Almost like it's all connected. Yeah, I haven't seen a single post here supporting this move by the Bulls. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:10. All right. Oh, what is this? Jesus is coming back. Jaden Ivey post-game after win against Nets. Yeah, that's literally the story of the Bible. All right. What was his detrimental... Colin Smothers. What was his detrimental conduct, Chicago Bulls? Was it abandoning a baby mama? Was it drunkenness? Was it physical abuse? Was it recklessness or disorderly behavior? No, that won't get you kicked out of the NBA. Ivey's crime was being a Christian in public. Yeah, Dennis Rodman on the Bulls marrying himself. Cross-dressing is cool. Christian is conduct detrimental to the team. Go Bulls. Tolerance ends when Christians speak. Jaden Ivey waved. Okay. Well, that's a bold strategy, Chicago Bulls. Let's see how that plays out for you. All right. Let's go back to our feed. Interesting. This is a video that appears to be AI, so I'm not even going to play it. Actually, I'm going to unshare it. Okay. Libs of TikTok reports Catherine Menendez, a Biden-appointed judge, just dismissed a DOJ lawsuit against Minnesota and ruled that public universities can continue offering scholarships and in-state tuition to illegal alien invaders. Another activist judge putting foreign invaders before Americans. Impeach. Biden-appointed judge. This mayor, according to Bonchi, has allegedly told. Well, Emily, let's check in here. This is astonishing.
Well, Emily, Jean, it's still here, but not for long. Artist Ian Gaudreau tells me he's sad it's come to this point, but after calls from Mayor Smiley and other local leaders to remove the mural, it felt like only a matter of time before this happened.
The artwork is going to be removed.
Artist Ian Gaudreau breaking the news to NBC 10 Monday afternoon. The Irina Zarutska mural is coming down.
A lot of people.
Why would that mural come down? An innocent angel snuffed out by a demon. They don't want to be reminded of what the real world ramifications of their policies in Charlotte, North Carolina are doing to the residents. Then that needs to be made available everywhere. And you should find a way to sell that to places that can proudly display it in their businesses.
People voice their frustrations. And
what would you be frustrated with? With the crime and leaving that up as a reminder that you don't be that you never allow criminals access? Unreal.
And voices were heard, and the work is coming down as a reaction to that.
Well,
unreal. Okay, Eric Daughtry tells us U.S. Supreme Court just ruled against Colorado's insane ban on conversion therapy for children, which is used to help American youth get out of the transgender identity cult. There was an 8-1 ruling. This is from Eric Daughtry writing this stuff. 8-1 ruling. Jackson is the only dissent. It's a massive victory. Thank you, SCOTUS. Protect the children. And conversion therapy is a weird way to say, we're going to tell you what things are. We're not going to let these crazy indoctrinators scramble the eggs in your brain. You're a boy, you're a boy. You're a girl, you're a girl. If you're a boy, you can play with animals, wear pink, dance around, whatever. You can be a effeminate boy. You can be you could be a woman, and you could be rough and tumble, climbing in the trees, getting muddy, building things. It's okay. These aren't specters of gender. It's just you can be whatever you want, but you're still a boy and you're still a girl. And it's okay if you love a girl as a girl. Like, you can do your thing. Now, there is the Bible that has their set of guidelines that has a very clear understanding of what they want to happen. But fairly libertarian, you do your thing. And over here, if you're a boy and you want to be with a boy, then you guys can, do your thing. calling it conversion therapy to try to just remind people, like, despite previous teachers or things you've seen on the internet that trying to convince you, oh, I'm non-binary, I'm a million different things all at once. That's called the human experience. We don't need these extra terms to confuse the kids. Stop confusing the kids. They turn 18 and want to get into anything they want to, whether it's tattooing your eyeballs, putting a tattoo across your forehead, chopping off body parts. If you want to use your money to do those types of things, that's sort of up to you. I would advise against doing some of these things, obviously. But calling it conversion therapy is a weird thing. That's just kind of weird. Kate says, thank God, but let's be honest, Justice Jackson has no business on the Supreme Court. She rules not on the law or Constitution, but on whatever activism she supports. Case in point, her lone dissent against Colorado's conversion therapy ban, she'll always rule in favor of her activism. Again, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Mitt Romney ran across the aisle to help the radical left put an incompetent, unqualified judge on the Supreme Court. Great. Ketanji Brown Jackson, at it again. Megan Basham, New York Times author. An interesting side note in this case, the woman who formerly ran the Rosemead Counseling Center at Biola University filed an amicus brief in this case that took the same position as far-left Justice Jackson. She didn't want Christian counselors to be able to tell gender-confused kids that God fearfully and wonderfully made them male and female. She didn't want Christian counselors to be able to help kids overcome their gender dysphoria and embrace their created identity. After I reported on this at Real Daily Wire, she was removed from her position. That is the power of real journalism, investigating Christian institutions. It isn't done to attack them, it's to preserve them. So sometimes when you're attacked, it's not to destroy you, it's to preserve you. When there's a big wind, there's a storm system that blows through and it shakes all the trees. It's not meant to destroy all the branches that fall down. It takes down the weak, the dead, the decayed. It shakes all the dead out so that there's room to keep growing. Garth Brooks had that song, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. So that's interesting. She reported on it, then she lost her job, but it wasn't about attacking them, it was preserving them. Colorado tried to ban conversion therapy for sexual orientation or gender identity, but it's unconstitutional. Jackson, the lone dissent. Greg Price tells us Justice Jackson wrote a 35-page dissent in Childs versus Salazar about how it should be constitutional to ban counselors from telling a boy he is not a girl. Can you believe that? It was longer than Justice Gorsuch's majority opinion and Justice Kagan's concurring opinion combined. For somebody that has nothing to say, she talks the most, which is sort of a tell. If you're talking that much, you might not really have anything to say. So there's that. Eric W. says, Justice Gorsuch drops some history on Justice Jackson. The sole dissenter. For a long time, being gay was seen as a mental disorder. Under Jackson's theory, that would mean that states could ban therapy meant to help gay people regardless of later changes in science. Yikes. Eric continues, notably, Justice Jackson trains her fire on Justices Kagan and Sotomayor. In a footnote, she basically accuses them of being dupes for the conservative majority. Kagan responds basically accusing Jackson of not understanding long-standing law. Jackson doesn't know how to be a justice. She doesn't understand the law. This is becoming more clear with every position, every dissent, every case. It becomes more clear. This is not just because of one case we're talking about this. The Ketanji Brown Jackson appointment to the Supreme Court, a place where you've really, this is the place you're supposed to have your shit together. This is the place for the brightest, most competent people. And maybe they land in different areas, but they're going to use their brain. They're going to be conscientious about their stuff. This appears to be a pure DEI hire. Not that we want the most qualified person. We want someone from certain demographic groups to just represent, to be the constant activist. Law be damned. Legal precedent be damned. Understanding of case law. And precedent be damned. As long as we get an activist, and as long as the activist is a Black woman. This isn't one case. This isn't 5 cases. This is not 10 cases. She's almost always on the wrong side of obvious issues. Doesn't understand what's happening. Incompetent. Talking the most, writing the most, saying the least. These are things that have a established track record now. And this will go down as a case study of why you never let Democrats get anywhere near positions of power again. They believe so strongly in their hearts things that don't make any fucking sense. When Kagan and Sotomayor are the reasonable ones, Jackson is off the deep end. So let's see how it plays out. There's several more things coming at Supreme Court season. Kagan tells Jackson, you basically don't understand longstanding law. So that's all happening now. Kagan's concurring opinion attacks the dissent of her fellow liberal Justice Jackson. Justice Jackson's dissenting opinion claims that this is a small or even non-existent category. See post 2122-8. But even her own opinion, when listing laws supposedly put at risk today, offers quite a few examples. See post 3233 and N13. Her view to the contrary rests on reimagining, and in that way collapsing the well-settled distinction between viewpoint-based and other content-based speech restrictions. She just doesn't understand the law. And her peers are pointing this out. It's embarrassing. Samuel Alito torched liberal justices Sotomayor and Jackson's word games trying to let migrants flood America. Let's take a listen, because now we're talking about birthright citizenship.
I believe that both you and Justice Sotomayor and Justice Jackson on several occasions have used the phrase arriving at. I think you said you arrived at your house, but that's not the term that is in the statute. Do you think there is no difference between arriving at a location and arriving in the location? Does a person arrive in the house when the person is not in the house and is knocking at the door, asking to be admitted to the house?
Yes, I think here the door is open. The officer is standing on the other side of the threshold.
Oh my God, this just makes no sense.
Leave.
That depends upon what your definition of the word is. I'm allowing myself a little cautious optimism that birthright citizenship is going to be more clearly defined. Steve Guest says Justice Jackson will see this dissent from Justice Kagan and not understand.
And so what I don't understand.
Oh, this is incredible. You want to listen to Ketanji Brown Jackson? Gotta mute it. Oral argument highlights. KBJ, October term 24. Just this 1 year. Is she qualified?
I don't understand. Can I just understand? And I don't understand. And so what I don't understand, I don't understand your argument. I'm just trying to understand your answer. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand, but I'm just trying to understand.
Don't you want somebody that understands things to be kind of ruling and judging on things? Isn't like understanding one of the main things you're looking for?
I'm trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand. I'm sort of with Justice Kagan trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand because I'm still trying to understand. Maybe I'm just not understanding. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand and I don't understand. I was just trying to understand. So I guess I don't understand. And I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm struggling to understand and I don't understand. Can you help me to understand? I'm sort of with Justice Alito in trying to understand, but I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm just trying to understand. I guess I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand, nor do I understand. I don't understand what I don't understand. So I'm misunderstanding your rule. I'm just trying to understand, and I'm trying to understand. I don't understand that. I don't understand. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why not. I don't understand at all. So can you help me understand? I don't understand.
I don't know if anybody can help you understand. You seem to be very confused on everything, Justice Jackson.
I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't even understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I guess I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. I don't really understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And what I can't understand, I don't understand. I don't understand. So I don't understand. Can you help me understand? So I don't even understand. I guess I don't.
Guys.
I don't understand. So I don't understand. So I guess I don't understand. So help us to understand. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. But I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't really understand. Help me to understand.
This should be the advertising campaign that Republicans play. And say, when you elect people to office, they will select Supreme Court nominees. People who either understand things or people who don't seem to get it at all. Biden, Democrats, Marxists, communists, socialists, globalists, New World Order types. They don't care about reality. And they don't understand how the world works. When you're voting on every level, you need people who understand. Vote Republican. What a great ad.
I don't quite understand it. I guess I'm not sure I understand that. And so I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess I just don't understand that. Can I understand? So can you help me to understand? I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand. So I'm just trying to understand. And I don't understand what I'm trying to understand. And I don't understand that. So can.
Yeah, Steve said Justice Jackson will see this dissent from Justice Kagan and not understand. We're halfway through this. This is from one term.
Can I understand why? So I don't understand. I don't understand. And so help me to understand. Well, I guess I just want to understand. I guess I just don't understand. But I guess I don't understand. I don't understand what I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what I'm just trying to understand. I guess I don't.
And it's just the people that know the least talk the most so often. The loudest people are the weakest people. There's so many different versions of this. This is like my new favorite video. Now look. Let me be fair. The job in the Supreme Court is to hear arguments, and they're making a case, and they're making a case. And if they're making a case that you're not vibing with, you go, I don't understand what you're saying there. I get it. Some people are unaware that they have a catchphrase until it's pointed out. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that? Do you have a catchphrase? Do I have a catchphrase? Oh shit! Do I even ask this question? Hey chat, do I have a catchphrase? Do I have a series of catchphrases? Things I say a lot that I'm maybe unaware that I say. So I will say she obviously is hearing arguments, and I don't understand where you're coming from on that. I don't understand how you arrived at that conclusion. Help me understand what you mean by that. I get it. But in the totality of she's always talking the most, she's always writing the most, it doesn't make sense. She's on the wrong side of more issues than I think any other justice since she's been on a couple years now, a few years. Who did she replace? Ginsburg? Was it? This is just damning. Okay, maybe so, maybe not. That's a good catchphrase. All right, I like that. I mentioned it to Izzy. I told him the parable, and when we'll be listening to a podcast and he'll point something out and he goes, "See?" I go, maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. That's one guy's fucking opinion. No, that's true. He said it. I go, no. One guy said it. That doesn't make it accurate. That doesn't mean it's true. It's true that guy said that thing and he holds that opinion, but it doesn't mean it's true. It's a projection. It's a prognostication in the future of things that may occur. It doesn't mean it's accurate today. Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe so, maybe not. That is a good catchphrase. And I think the maybe so, maybe not has helped me balance quite a bit. Like I said, when I was a teenager, I had everything figured out. I was the smartest person in every room I walked into. I'm a little less certain on a lot of things these days. It doesn't mean I'm so open-minded that my brain falls out, but you get my point. Hello, Final Lark on Kick. How are you? Maybe so, maybe not. That is a good catchphrase. Anyway, let's wrap it up with Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. I guess I just don't, I'm not fully understanding. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to even understand.
I don't understand. I guess I don't understand.
So I guess I'm just trying to understand. Help me to understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm trying to understand. So maybe I'm not understanding. I'm trying to understand. So I guess I'm just trying to understand. So I guess I'm struggling with trying to understand. So I'm really trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just wanting to understand it. But I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm trying to understand. And so I guess what it boils down to, for me at least, is trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. But
this is what Joe Biden. You remember when all the people said Joe Biden's totally competent, totally with it. Oh, he's the hardest working person in the room. Oh, he's go. Totally coherent. You're going, none of that is true. Did you fucking forget I have eyes and ears? That Joe Biden is a complete puppet. Weekend at Bernie's being propped up and moved around, almost like on a joystick with a robot, like C-3PO walking in the wrong direction. But I've been listening to this. I don't understand, and now I'm questioning the term understand. Standing under, understand. Old English understanding, literally to stand in the midst of or among something. Here, under didn't originally mean beneath, as in underneath. It came from a sense meaning between or among or in the middle of, related to words like Latin inter. So to understand is metaphorically to position yourself among the details or ideas, immersed enough to grasp them clearly. That's the core reason it means comprehend today, standing right in the thick of it, not from afar. And you know what? Actually, after getting that definition, I think it's even more damning about Ketanji Brown Jackson. Even more damning. Because you're just supposed to be standing amongst the issue enough to grasp it, to comprehend it. This lady doesn't seem to be able to comprehend. Like, this is at a level of there's advanced mental acuity, and there's a slowed version that cannot grasp obvious. It's like a learning deficiency, a learning comprehension deficit. That's not good.
I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. Can you just help me to understand? I guess I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand that. I guess I don't understand. I guess I'm struggling to understand. I guess I just don't understand. So I can't understand. I guess I don't understand. I guess.
Now, by the way, all of this is not related I'm trying to find the video now. I had it queued up. Did I scroll past this? I didn't even see this. This is this is not related to this ban, but let's just get the report.
Ruling against a Colorado law banning so-called conversion therapy for LGBTQ children. Shannon Bream watching this and getting the ruling now. What was decided? Good morning to you, Shannon.
Hey, Bill, good to see you. So a therapist out there in Colorado challenged this law when it was passed, saying, I need to be able to counsel clients for whatever services they're seeking. So the court looked at this, finally decided 8-1 in her favor, striking down that law in Colorado. I want to read you part of what they said. They said it's censoring speech based on viewpoint. Specific things. It says the First Amendment stands as a shield against any effort to enforce orthodoxy in thought or speech in this country.
Kind of like the Chicago Bulls just did.
It goes on to say, even if...
Amazing when the stories in the news so intertwine, when they overlap so well. I'm very curious if that Jaden Ivey, who's been cut by the Bulls, if he's on their permanent blacklist now. Not because he's black, but because he's getting the Trevor Bauer treatment. Not guilty of anything in a court of law, but banned and blackballed from the entire organization. A Cy Young winning pitcher can't pitch in the big leagues. Blacklisted by the league. Remember when Colin Kaepernick tried to lie about that stuff? Like, they're not letting me play just because of... It's like, no, dude, it's because you're making a lot of money. You've gotten old. You've gotten slow. The league has figured out how to defend your pistol offense. It's not working with Harbaugh like the way it used to with the 49ers, and you were benched for Blaine Gabbert. That's why you're not getting jobs, because you expect to be making $30 million a year, and you're sort of a backup quarterback at this point. That's why you're not getting paid, but that got turned into something totally different. Ketanji Brown Jackson got her education at the Leering Center. Yeah. This is interesting because this is sort of what she's describing is the Jaden Ivey case with the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, Bill, good to see you. So a therapist out there in Colorado challenged this law when it was passed, saying, I need to be able to counsel clients for whatever services they're seeking. So the court looked at this, finally decided 8-1 in her favor, striking down that law in Colorado. I want to read you part of what they said. They said it's censoring speech based on viewpoints.
The Bulls censored Jaden Ivey based on his viewpoints.
Specific things. It says the First Amendment stands as a shield against any effort to enforce orthodoxy in thought or speech in this country. It goes on to say, even if you have good intentions in this law, if you suppress speech based on a particular viewpoint, it just can't stand up. I mean, 8-1. There was only one dissenter here. It was Justice Jackson. She has said that this ruling is potentially catastrophic. She says the majority finds at bottom that Colorado likely cannot legislate to protect the children of its state if by doing so it happens to keep state licensed healthcare providers from saying what they want to minors. She goes on to say it will ultimately risk grave harm to Americans' health and well-being. She says you should be able to regulate the speech of somebody who's providing care to minors. 8-1, majority of the court did not think so, Bill.
All right. Well, where was that energy during COVID when you were terrifying the doctors away from using and prescribing monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, whether or not they're completely effective or not? The fact that if patients wanted to try that as a therapeutic option, they should have been allowed the ability to. But the Biden administration blocked and terrorized and terrified doctors to the point where they couldn't prescribe at the proper dosages. They weren't allowed to provide these types of treatments. Everything was a one size fits all, and it just slid people into the ground. My brother was a huge victim in that. So, all right, very interesting case. Kenneth just showed up. What's up, Kenneth? We were talking about how Ketanji Brown Jackson probably wouldn't understand why she was the only one that dissented there, but the reason she wouldn't understand is because this is all just a compilation from 2024 alone.
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just not sure I understand you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, I think
I'm trying to understand. I don't
Oh, that is so correct. He was Tim Tebowed.
understand. Can I
Jaden Ivey, yes.
understand? I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. Can you help me just to understand? Because I'm trying to understand, and I'm just trying to understand. And I guess I'm just trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, but I guess I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I guess I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess I'm still stuck on trying to understand what I'm just trying to understand. So I'm just trying to understand. I guess I don't really.
This should be a GOP campaign. This should be, we need people who understand things in our government. Joe Biden put somebody in that doesn't look, she's on 8-1. She's the one that doesn't understand the obvious case ruling here. You cannot put people like Joe Biden or the Democrats in charge when they put people like Ketanji Brown Jackson who just don't understand. There's a great ad just let her words play. I know it'll be, it's, the context and this and that. It's a good marketing campaign. It's a good advertisement. This would be great. I should, here. KBJ ad, I don't understand. He was Tim Tebowed, yeah. Blackballed for being Christian. There's Afghanistan. There's Uzbekistan. There's understand. Same difference. All right. Hit the lightning round here. Where were we at? We were at right about here. Buzz through the rest of the news. Last chance reminder for everybody. This is the last day of March. We are about $17 shy of our lowest month. So any Rumble rants and super chats we're specifically talking about on YouTube, we are today's the last day is what I'm saying. So if you're enjoying the program, consider tossing something in the tip jar. We can surpass, what month is it? We can surpass November. Let me click the analytics. And yes, we've had a good month on Rumble, good month on Google in general. But yeah, we're technically like $12 away from November. And then $23 away from February to climb up the month rankings, December being the best. We're about 1/4 of December. So today's the last day if you want to move the needle. And please share the show with a friend. If you're doing Rumble rants and super chat tips, it's super appreciated. But help us grow the show by sharing it out on X and Facebook and texting it to a couple of your friends and inviting them in. All right. What was this? San Francisco. We have audio here?
Providing intel and updates. The large...
You see where you are right now? You're on a freeway.
On March 28, 2026, the California Highway Patrol notified the San Francisco Police Department of a large group of bicyclists in San Francisco who may be a part of a planned Bay Bridge takeover. Multiple CHP and SFPD units responded.
Not sure what they were trying to do with the bikes to take it over.
PD's Real-Time Investigation Center conducted surveillance on the group providing intel and updates. The large group of bicyclists then attempted to enter the Bay Bridge via...
Oh, that's some bullshit. Look at that. Oh, hell no. No. Good job, Bay Area.
The Harrison Street off-ramp against traffic. SFPD and CHP units were able to successfully stop the group before they entered the freeway and again stop them from going back onto San Francisco streets as they rode back down the off-ramp.
That is how it needs to be done. I've for a long time, I've just been not understanding how these cities can't, when you have a riot, block in the streets, process everybody gets detained, move it along, let's go. If your city's being overrun, it's because you're a part of it. You want it to happen. Good job. Hey, good win for San Francisco. I can't remember saying that in a long time.
The large group was detained, processed, and cited without incident.
That's all it takes, is to give half a shit and be semi-competent.
Bicycles were seized and stored by the CHP. 85 total citations were given, along with 85
how do I buy one of those?
Bicycles stored.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. This goes for everything. Bravo. Hang on, I need to add a comment. We don't give a lot of props to San Francisco. No, I just want San Francisco. Does the city have a Facebook? Very often, because that SF city seems to be completely backward and incompetent. But kudos here. All you have to do is stop the bullies, process everyone, and get back to normal. Bravo for doing a great job here, SF. Take the win. I'm very proud of them. Although maybe they were there just to I wonder what their intentions were. But if you're riding your bike the wrong way, then in an off ramp or an exit ramp, I got a hunch you're up to no good. All right, let's check in on the TSA. How are things going with the shutdowns? And
what is your message and the message of those that you represent to Congress, to perhaps the president as well, about having to continually go through this every time Congress is supposed to be passing bills that pay the bills?
Well, I have to say thanks to the president.
Speaking of paying the bills, Kenneth dropping a super chat off the top rope. Chat money. Thank you, Kenneth. I salute you. I'm in the low screen here, but you see me, I'm doing the salute. I salute you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, then that's Congress's job. You just basically have to pay the bills and not go into debt, and they can't ever do the basics. TSA. They're now going to start receiving back pay after weeks without paychecks. Unreal.
Congress is supposed to be passing bills that pay the bills.
Well, I have to say thanks to the president for signing the executive order to pay us. But I also have to say that there's other parts of the Department of Homeland Security that aren't being paid, right?
What is your message and the message of those that you represent to Congress, to perhaps
TSA workers? Thanks to President for signing the executive order to pay us. No Democrats voted for this bill. Unreal. And how are Democrats holding up with all this? Not well.
What did Democrats get out of this standoff?
Nothing.
Yeah, well,
what did they get out of the standoff? You got a reminder that they are unfit to govern. You've got one job. You can disagree on what color you want to paint the building in your HOA. You don't throw a temper tantrum and decide not to repair the roof on another building to try to get your way in it. You have a responsibility to handle the things that need to be handled. And the people that act like children, the Democrats who didn't pass any of the funding resolutions for the second Schumer shutdown, these people are unfit to serve. They're derelict in their duty, and they're committing criminal incompetence, criminal malfeasance. God, there's got to be 100 different terms you could list, legal terms, why these people could theoretically even be prosecuted for their actions. Their temper tantrums are getting in the way of doing their job. And if you have a job to do and you're refusing to do it, that means you're fucking fired. That means that you are recalled by the people because you are incompetent or unwilling to do what we put you there to do. It's to keep the lights on. You pay the vendors that have already showed up. You don't fucking take the money from TSA. What the hell is wrong with you? If that doesn't mean you get to go to jail, it sure should mean you don't get to serve in our government if you can't do your job. Yeah, what did you get out of this? You got more contempt. Exactly, Kenneth. What did they get out of the deal? What's the deal with the TSA? That's what they got. They got more contempt. I think you're right.
What did Democrats get out of this standoff?
Contempt. Earned contempt.
Yeah, well, Margaret, the standoff is not done yet, right? The president is illegally paying, apparently, TSA agents.
What?
You had the Senate, as you pointed out with Mr. Homan.
Illegally paying? The fuck is he talking? You're illegally stealing. They're working the job. And you're keeping them from their money, and you're saying that the other side is illegally paying them for the job that they're doing. Never vote Democrat anywhere. Representative Jim Himes, Greenwich, Connecticut, Democrat, Connecticut, ranking member, Intelligence Committee. This guy's on the Intelligence Committee. Illegally paying people who are doing a job.
Right? The president is illegally paying, apparently, TSA agents. You had the Senate, as you pointed out with Mr. Homan, pass a bipartisan bill unanimously in the United States Senate to say, look, let's fund everybody else and let's deal with this thorny issue about ICE.
There's nothing thorny about ICE. Do the job. Remove the people that snuck in. They got a ticket. They got a ticket stub or they don't. You don't have a ticket stub, get the fuck out. You want to get back in line and buy a ticket to go see the movie? Fine. I don't want any usher breaking legs, breaking elbows, concussing you, smacking you around, knocking your teeth out. I don't want any of that. But you don't get to stay in the movie theater if you snuck in the back door. Get the fuck out. David, you're right. Tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Let's just embrace the energy of April Fool's Day. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to reset this. Because I told you at the beginning of the show I'm trying to stay positive, and I will. But I'm positively confused by Democrats and what fuels and motivates these people. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I want it done. I want this party demolished into 1,000 pieces. They don't belong. They're not fit to serve this nation. They're always doing this shit. TSA, Trump saves America. Cheers to that. By the way, speaking of cheers, if anybody wants a mug that says the New American Media, here, let me big screen it. Are you going to let me big screen it? There you go. If you want a mug, shoot me a Venmo along with your address. Mugs are $40. That includes $10 shipping and handling. They're red, white, and a little bit of blue right there. If you want some coasters for your beverages, they're $30 for my sports show, the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. These are 4 thick Ohio-made wooden coasters. 4 for $30, 8 for $50, shipping included. And if you want a pin, they're $25. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. I need to get this on like an image, and I'll click it, and it'll just be a static image because it's with the light sources and the green screen. You can see the green screen if I do that. Anyway, if you want some merch, let me know on Venmo. Brian Engelman. Speaking of merch. Yeah, Trump saves America. I'm giving it a shot. I am hopeful that this direction is going to take us away from where Biden and this clown are trying to take us.
Fund everybody else and let's deal with this thorny issue about ICE. And then you had the Republican House say, hell no, we're not doing that.
What did Democrats get?
They didn't get anything. They got stupider. They got more contempt. John Thune, according to Nick Sorter, is refusing to call back the Senate from their 2-week vacation in order to get DHS funded, saying it would just be a show vote. No, the show vote was you passing a bad bill at 3 a.m. just so you could go home. Get back to D.C. and work. Get rid of Thune. What are we doing? 10 Bear says birth tourism is off the freaking charts, especially with CCP women. Oh, birth tourism is off the charts. Stop it all. How is Nimbus? Well, better than Friday. Ooh, Friday was tough. Ugh. Yeah, I was really worried Friday that he was done. Especially when he went upstairs where it was hot and he was just laying out and he was dehydrated from and I actually took him to the emergency vet. I told you this story. I don't need to rehash it, but I'm kind of rethinking it. I thought he needed an IV, but he kind of perked up in there. I'm like, buddy, you got to perk up. You got to move her. Like, you are just like wasting away. Like, I can't watch this. He came back and he ate, and then he ate some more, and then he's, fingers crossed, dare I say, back to normal. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got into something, if he ate something he wasn't supposed to, if something was left out and he got into it, or if it's just this is going to happen on a regular basis from time to time with him. Yeah, some of the pet ladies, Kenneth saying Mike Barron knows some pet ladies, by the way. Yeah, they donated, they sent a shipment. Oh, I gotta sneeze now. I started talking about cats and it made me sneeze. Yeah, they did send some pet stuff. Oh boy. Is that psychosomatic? I don't know. I started talking about cats and it made me sneezy. Yeah, they sent some liver treats that Ben likes, and then some other stuff that Ben did not like. And I can't really introduce new food to Nimbus. I would like to, but if I do, I mean, it's just a mess. Yes, positive thoughts and prayers. Thank you, David. Thank you, Kenneth, for asking, and thank you for all of you. Yeah, by the way, all of you, anything that you guys throw in, it just goes into the pile. You know, it goes into the business pile. It comes to me. It covers the overhead, and it definitely takes care of the kiddies. So, each month it's just, you got to have this amount because everybody's asking for a piece of the pie. Nimbus's monthly injections and all of their food and their litter and their supplies. I mean, it does directly help them. Any support to this show directly helps them and me and the new American media, because it's all sort of the same thing. It's all scrambled eggs, but thanks for asking. He's doing a little bit better. The carpet cleaner. Man. I need to do a little bit more of that tomorrow or tonight once I finish up outside, because it's going to be raining next week or so. Anyway, I digress. But yes, Nimbus is doing better today than yesterday. Better yesterday than the day before. And my gosh, Friday was not good. Okay, back to the final blitz here about stories in the news. Supreme Court about to consider upholding President Trump's birthright citizenship executive order, according to leading report. The protesters say, no king, no king, no kings. That's what they shout, while begging government to rule their health and their pay and their speech and their children and their land and their future. But remember, no kings, everybody. No kings except for all the other stuff. No hate except we hate everybody that's not us. Okay. How's that for slogans? That's the thing about a slogan. Take the mask off, and it's rarely what it tells you. Oh, hopeity hope. Changeity change. Whatever you think America is, 5 days away from fundamentally transforming, what America could be. Kevin Sorbo, no kings, brought to you by the people that refused to hold a primary for Kamala without, they arrested Trump, they attempted to remove him from the ballot, sued to keep RFK Jr. off the ballot, and much, much more. All right, I think that actually is the end of the stories that I had for today's program. Shazam! Pile Shazam! That was on an episode of The Simpsons. Kenneth, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, you guys make the show worth doing. I enjoy hanging out here. I do want to try something really early in the morning. I don't know if that works for anybody. I do want to try something in the evening. I don't know if it'll be another TNAM Daily Show, or maybe if there's a way to break it up and I could do Instagram stories in the evening or X stories in the daytime, or just a hodgepodge in the bright early morning. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do think I want to split up the large chunk shows, the 3-4 hour shows, midday, just for feasibility. Like, there's other things I might need to be doing during these hours. And for the past week, it's been, I get a couple of hours of daylight and I got to knock these tasks out. But yeah, you guys make it fun, because I'm going to be digging into these stories anyway. We might as well all chat about it. So Shazam! Pile! Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you. You know what? With that, I think we have now surpassed the lowest month. When that clears, I think March will jump past November. It'll jump past November. And it might be like $6 away from surpassing February. So yeah, I like having these metrics, having it back. October, November, December, January, February, March. 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah, I think for 7 months we've been getting it going. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of Supreme Court stuff, birth tourism stuff, feeding the wolves that we want. It's not putting our heads in the sand and being an ostrich about things that we don't like. The MAGA agenda. We're concerned about this. We don't support that. Why would we do? Okay, yeah, I got it. But on 100 issues, are we overlapping on some of these? Are we overlapping on 51 of the top 100 issues? Hello, a human being. Thanks for the comment. Both wolves are controlled by CEOs and political action committees. The faster the people get that, the faster this mess gets fixed. Red and blue are just game pieces. October and November. Yes, Vember? Yeah, there should be a yes Vember if there's going to be a November. Yeah, that's a great point, a human being. By the way, everybody smash the thumbs up button, the like button, share the show out to a friend. Hit subscribe and consider Rumble Rants, Super Chats, and signing up for monthly subscription. But a human being, yeah. CEOs and super PACs, political action committees. Yeah, I do recognize that. And I did watch both the Republicans and Democrats equally try to take out President Trump. They don't like him. He is not a good fit for their uniparty. And you could point to people, whether it's Lutnick or too cozy with Palantir. Kenneth Soon, a human being, a human going. What's your name, little boy? Rudiger. Little Rudiger here. His name is Bart. His name isn't important. Kenneth and I we're simpatico on the Simpsons stuff. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't think President Trump is a red piece or a blue piece in this game. I don't think that MAGA is a red game piece. He's not a blue game piece. I think he's something different. And yeah, there's a lot of overlap there with a lot of red pieces and with some blue pieces. You're going to have that. But I watched the system almost concurrently, like they came together to get this guy out. Whether it was, I don't know, let's just pick DeSantis. We got to get him, anything but Trump. Hillary, they thought Hillary was in the bag and all the corporate, they had her paid off. And who knows, maybe we're getting duped and maybe no good will come of this. That's fine. But I think bringing back tariffs and getting rid of the big picture stuff that we're doing. This could be an absolutely transformative administration in a good way to set back this deep state plan to rob America of all of its wealth and sovereignty and freedom, liberties, to set that back 50 years, 100 years, to dismantle it. Fingers crossed. Maybe so, maybe not. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. But I will remain cautiously optimistic and hopeful that we can get something done. But yeah, the power of CEOs and political action committees cannot be understated. You're very correct, a human being, to point that out. And maybe we can expand on that a little bit more on tomorrow's show. So hit the thumbs up button, share the show with a friend. Thank you all for being here. We'll uncover the news. Follow us at American_media_ on X to get the news in between our live shows, and on Instagram. Make sure you follow us there, because with 19 more followers, they just refuse to let us grow. Every time we grow, they take people away. It's kind of incredible. 19 followers before we can go live on Instagram, allegedly. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at noon. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.